Hey, so today I wanted to show you my favorite way to book a whole bunch of different parent-teacher interviews and to make it really easy for me and for them to schedule them, and that is through Google Calendar. They have this new feature that is called Appointment Schedule. Now, if you go into your Google Calendar and you don't see Appointment Schedule, all you got to do is go into Settings, and then scroll all the way down to the bottom and click off this check mark right here that says create appointment schedules instead of appointment slots. It works really, really well, so I highly recommend doing that. So once you go into the appointment schedule, you can call it whatever you want. You can set your appointment duration. In my board, generally speaking, we spend about 10 minutes for each parent-teacher interview with a 5-minute buffer. Now, this can be made as a schedule thing. So if you want to set a schedule where you have 1 or 2 appointments available every day after school, you're welcome to do that. I prefer to do it where it's just one day and to do that in the evening for a little bit of time and have a number of them back to back. You can set a scheduling window. I like this maximum of 60 days and minimum of 4 hours. It tends to work really pretty well for me. But you could set this where it's 24 hours in advance so that the day before is the last day to sign up for those windows. In the booked appointment settings here, this one's really key. Right here where you've got buffer time. This means that there's time between those appointment slots. So I always add 5 minutes just in case we go over a little bit and so that I can end and not be running late for my appointments with parents. You can also set a maximum of how many booked appointments you can accept in a day, which is always very useful. It checks your calendar for availability and the color for the event as well. If we go into next, here is where it gets really helpful. If you want to do all of your conferences on Google Meet, you've got a Google Meet link that gets generated right after booking with this one, or you can do an in-person meeting. Now, if you do this where it's specified later, you just have to update the booking afterwards, and you can select a Google Meet then, or an in-person meeting, or a phone call. It's pretty straightforward. You can put in a description, and this is my favorite part. In the booking form, you can have them add their phone number. I'm going to make that optional just in case something glitches. You can also add a custom item. For me, the most important part is the child's name, so I'm not going back and forth between my information, and I can get really easily prepared. And I also like to add subjects that we want to discuss as an optional option. In case the parents would have a particular subject they want me to be prepared for. That way I can look it up in advance. The last setting is the email reminders and booking confirmations and reminders that you can put in, and then you save it. Once it's there, it'll make a booking page, which you can share very easily with parents. You can see all of your booking pages and share a link to all of them at once. So let's say you set up in-person appointments on one day and virtual appointments on another day. You can share a link to both of those appointment schedules, which is really fantastic. And the booking page for parents looks like this. Now, I set it for not that long from now, but sometimes it'll say no appointments yet, jump to the next available date. So then they can do that. And here you can see there's 4 slots. And when they click on a slot, they can enter in their name, their email address. If they're logged in, it'll populate that automatically. And you can see the phone number and subjects are optional, and the child's name is required before they book. Hopefully that's helpful to you, and good luck with all of your parent-teacher interviews.